So you're saying it starts with presence, and just really being like, just so noticing all the beautiful things and the positive things in the now, that starts to help you receive more.
And also think about like children are really good at being in flow state because, most adults overanalyze everything, which is the opposite of flow state. They're in their mind, in their mind, in their mind. When we are creating or playing or in a conversation and we're just present in the moment, we're not over preparing, we're not self-conscious about what we're saying, we're usually suspended in time and feeling really good. So what are the moments in your day you can let yourself just be, right? Can you take a walk in nature? Can you be creative and color, not for any outcome, just to do it, right? Like, what are the ways that you put yourself in flow state? And so often we are being told that in order to be worthy of our existence, we have to prove ourselves. So people stop doing things that make them happy just because they don't know that being happy for happy's sake is worthy, but it actually is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we overcomplicate it, but it's like nobody gets to the end of their life and gets the award for the most depleted, exhausted person. So
Yeah.
what are the things that you can do that bring you joy just for the sake of joy? And then what's really fascinating is you'd be surprised that sometimes, like Steve Jobs took a class in calligraphy, and from that calligraphy class, he had the idea to start Apple. Sometimes just playing isn't a detour.
Yeah.
Sometimes what you think is a detour just for its own sake is the gold mine. When I went to Jerusalem after college, my parents were like, you're going to spend 3 years there? Like, don't you need to get a job or go to grad school? And those years and the wisdom and the way it changes the code and software in my mind, gave me my whole life. So is that a detour or was that the end goal itself?
Yeah, that was the gem. I love that though. It's like almost like nothing is wasted. And I love thinking of life that way. It's like,
Right.
no, it wasn't a detour. That wasn't a mistake. It's all taking you to where you're supposed to go. Love it. Okay, so Cathy, I know a lot of people, and I'm sure in your life you've dealt with that, like the limiting beliefs or that like feeling of lack. And so how do you advise people to overcome that so that they can truly believe and start to like receive what they're worthy of?
Well, I think it's because we compare ourselves to all of these people and we forget, and I said this earlier, but we forget the truth, which is that the most impressive person, it's not where they went to college. It's not what they're wearing. It's not what they're driving. It's how loving they are. It's how present they are. We've all seen it a million times where someone comes in the room and they've got all the things and you can tell this is the most insecure person. And it doesn't matter that they have 3 degrees and all the clothes and all the cars, and you feel for this person. You don't feel it's a vibe, right?
Yeah. You don't envy them. You don't want to be them.
No. So, I think about how we look outside of ourselves for answers all the time. And very often it's a lie, which tells you, oh, in order to feel like you're enough, you need to get this degree, you need to be impressive, really, the way human beings are wired, what you came to the world with from day one is what makes you most impressive. It's your capacity to be present. It's your ability to be loving. It's your ability just to listen to someone with beginner's mind and not judge them. It's your curiosity, and so we are more than qualified to do the most amazing things. And part of the problem also is a little bit of like school. We all need to go through like deschooling because school teaches you to like memorize things and get the grade. And really, education means to educe, right? To pull out from what's within. And I think we really forget how much gold we're sitting on within us. We haven't really stopped to take stock of how much is within us. So we keep looking at what's outside of us and what we need to fill up inside of us. And really, what's within us is already more than impressive and beautiful.
I know people listening to this might think it's a little up here when some people are dealing with the practical. And Cathy, since you have so much experience literally manifesting so many amazing things in your life, what advice can you give for people who do feel stuck? Like, how do you manifest money, wealth, opportunity?
A couple of things. I mean, number one, it's always first, your greatest strategy is your identity, right? So who you tell yourself you are is huge, right? And so James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits, he said, you don't go to the gym and drink water and pick up that habit because you tell yourself too many times, oh, finally, I drink enough water because I told myself to. But if you tell yourself that you're a healthy person and you believe that identity, you will do the actions that you feel are congruent with the identity that you've chosen. So if you tell yourself, I'm really a resourceful person, and whatever I set my mind to, I do, and I'm really available for ease, and I'm really available for synchronicity, then you will show up differently. So number one, it's like, what's the identity that you're walking around with, and who are you pretending to be, right? And are you available to receive the gifts? The second thing is like, start changing your relationship with money. You talked about money a little bit in your question. A lot of people actually won't let themselves make money because they have a bad relationship with money. It's kind of like if you know a girl, we all know a friend of ours who wants to get married. She says she wants to date, but she's always single. And it's usually because deep down, her relationship with men, it might equal pain. You know, maybe she had a father who left, or maybe she had a father she loved who died, or maybe she saw her mother lose herself when she got married. There's usually a subconscious reason we will sabotage it. So we have to understand most people walk around and believe that people with money are horrible.
Yeah.
Which is something that's been in a lot of movies and culture and literature. You know, I sit in first class, right? Because I've enjoyed having a business and my business has grown. And so my kids even fly first class. And I know that it sounds crazy, but you could sit in first class and be the nicest person on the plane. Right. And so the Talmud says that money is like the greatest activator. It's like rain falling in a garden. It says, if rain falls on weeds, weeds grow. If rain falls on roses, roses grow. So if you're a person with no integrity and you have money, you'll be more out of integrity. But if you're a person who has integrity and goodness and you have money, you'll do more good things with the money. So the money is not the problem, right? It's who you are, and money just activates that. So number one, you have to allow yourself to have money and not think you're going to sell out on your values just because you have money. No, if you're a good person, you'll just be a greater steward of money with that money, which is beautiful. And then when it comes to, well, what are you going to do for the money? It's like, well, your greatest resource is your resourcefulness. And so, for instance, I said that I had a record deal, got dropped, went to get a quote unquote real job. I was working for a guy who owned a bunch of shopping centers. He worked in commercial real estate. And eventually I left because I realized I didn't come to Los Angeles at 24 to work for a guy in commercial real estate. I came to use my gifts. And very often we don't ask a good question. So the only question I asked when I got to LA is, how do I get a record deal? And I followed that rabbit hole until I found the answer. So I started asking a new question. The new question was, is there any other way I could get paid to do what I love besides a record deal? And I started doing the research, and I found that some songwriters get paid to play live shows. Some songwriters get paid to license music to TV shows and film. And when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, I would rather get paid $80,000 from McDonald's for one song than stand on the subway platform and hope to make $16 in coins by the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so one thing I say to people is, you get to choose your fishing hole, right? So you can sell shoes at Macy's for 8 hours, or you can sell Rolls Royces for 8 hours. Well, if you work in the Rolls Royce store, you'll sell fewer than if you sold shoes, but one sale of that car is equal to about 10 years or 40 years of selling shoes, right? So you get to choose your buyer. And I decided to make my buyer be the people choosing music for TV and film. Then when I switched out of that and I started the podcast, that was another choose your audience, because I could have said, I'm going to choose podcasting, or I'm going to choose, I don't know, blogging. I chose podcasting because I decided I want to create intimacy with a smaller group of people and go deep, that have a larger audience and go wide and a little bit less deep. And there's so much more that I can say about why that works. But the point I'm really making is your greatest resource is resourcefulness. We are such good manifestors as people. We can turn any thought into a thing. And our job is to start to open up our mind. And when you ask your mind a question, you'll get an answer. The reason most people don't get the answers is because they just tell themselves it's not possible. But when you start to say to your brain, well, what if it is possible? Your brain will give you 3 ideas about what you could try. So all of the money already exists. It's kind of like saying there's Wi-Fi built into your house, but you're not plugging into it. The market already exists. People are already going out looking for the thing that you do and wanting to spend money on it. Why not buy it from you? Why not you invest in the market? There's other people already working at Apple, and you could buy stock and you could get paid just because they're working on your behalf to pay the shareholders. So it's like there's an infinite of ways to make money. When you are available to see the opportunities, they start to show up that were already hidden in plain sight.
Wow. I love that so much because it's so true. It's just how much are you opening yourself up to what's out there, because it's out there. It exists. It's just, are you thinking bigger? And I love the pick your fishing hole. I feel like more people need to hear that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are kind of stuck in their own box of what they think is safe or maybe okay for them, whatever the case. But that's so smart of you. I think you're just so smart. You're asking the right questions.